monitoring all developments for us in a rather noisy campaign event, as we can see. Iris, good evening to you. We understand from what you've told us already, Netanyahu has, well, against the odds it seems, very much a chance of holding on to power.
He does have a chance, and as you'll see from this extraordinary celebration here, the Likud party faithful feel he have a chance too. It isn't sewn up by any means. There's a kingmaker, there's someone he has to bring into the party to make that coalition work, but he's within reach of a razor-thin, very far-right coalition, and I think that's why we're seeing this celebration here so early in the night. I think the last time you and I spoke, when it wasn't going so well, it was very quiet. This is a sign that they're very geared up and that they really think victory is within their grasp.
Iris, can you talk us through the exit polls so far? What are the statistics saying?
The statistics are saying this. The Likud is, as it was in the last parliament, the largest party. So it's between 30 and 33 seats, depending which exit poll you take. And what that means is, with the other right-wing parties around it, it is 54-ish seats. And then there's that one kingmaker's party, Yamina, which means to the right. And that man, the man who leads it, Naftali Bennett, is the one who will decide. If he goes with Netanyahu, Netanyahu has a government. What he has said so far tonight is he will do what is good for the state of Israel. And I think from that you can read that he will go with Netanyahu and extract a high price from Netanyahu for that agreement, for giving Netanyahu government. Perhaps he'll want a rotating prime ministership. Perhaps he'll want a very high portfolio. Perhaps he'll want to come back to the Likud. He'll extract a price.
Iris, Likud already a right-wing party, I think it's fair to say. What you're predicting here is a lurch further to the right. How is this going to change things in Israel? How is this going to change Israeli society? What does it mean going forward?
Well, I can tell you just a very simple practical thing. Israel has not had a budget for 3 years. They're working off the 2018 budget, which they just roll over. Just on a practical level, to get the government functioning again with all the coronavirus and COVID-19 payments, just on that simple level, a stable government would be very useful for the state of Israel. But will a razor-thin majority, 61, very far right-wing government, everybody knowing that whatever they ask for they can get because Netanyahu doesn't have a majority without them, will it really be stable? That's the question. It's a very difficult, it's a good night for Netanyahu, but it's not a great night and it's a difficult night.
Previous time we spoke, Iris, the previous election 3, third in 2 years, well now fourth in 2 years. It was Benny Gantz who was the chief rival to Netanyahu. Benny Gantz out of the picture this time round. Yair Lapid, the main challenger. Why did Gantz fall out of favour? Why did Lapid rise to this position?
Lapid was part of Gantz's coalition. They were in it together when they got that massive number, over 30 seats. And Benny Gantz left that party, left them, and went to be with Netanyahu. He said it was necessary because of COVID. He said he was, to use an Israeli military expression, because he's a military man, he said he fell on the grenade in order to protect Israel. That didn't wash exactly with his old coalition partners. You can see tonight from the numbers that he got, it's much less. There was a fear that he wouldn't even pass the minimum electoral threshold. He did do that. He's got 8 seats on the exit polls I've seen, but still it's nowhere near the 30 he had. So that's why Yair Lapid is now the largest party, because he's stuck with that line, the we don't want to go with Netanyahu line. And it seems Netanyahu, in the end, may defeat them all. In forming, I must reiterate, these are exit polls, but if he does do it, it won't be easy for him. This is not an ideal government It's going to be hard, but he will be in power, depending how long this government lasts, but it won't be lurching to the next election as we've seen every 6 months so far for the past 2 years.
Iris Makler for now. Thank you very much indeed. Please bear with us because we might bring you back in straight away.